Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamie, and in today's video I have a tag video called My 5 Most Viewed Bags Tagged. This tag was created by AKBbags and I was tagged by Snell. So the premise of this tag is taking a look at your video analytics and determining the 5 bags that have been most viewed across your channel. I thought it was really fun and interesting, so let's get right into it. The Chanel 19 bag review. It's basically where I go in depth on the Chanel 19. And I have 2 of them here that I featured in the video, and I did compare and went in depth on all about these bags. This bag review video has over 46,000 views. It's the most popular bag review video on my channel. And from my perspective, I was coming from somebody who was so hardcore about the Chanel Classic Flat for many years. I didn't jump on the Chanel 19 when it first came out. One, Chanel is just expensive, but I just typically more of a structured handbag lover. The Chanel 19, it took me a while, but when it came out in this caramel 19, and if you recall the craziness over the 21P caramel collection, that collection is the reason why I ended up getting this Chanel 19. The first bag I added from that collection was the Chanel 19, and then later on I added the Classic Flat. That was my entire love when it came to caramel. But once I added the Chanel 19, I later on, a couple seasons later with the 21S collection, I added the Oreo tweed. This is a stunner. Honestly, guys, I think this is one of the most beautiful handbags, at least in my collection. And nothing is like Chanel tweed. I recognize that there's a lot of research that goes into any handbag purchase, which is why I really went in depth on that particular video. I certainly use the tweed the most, but I think that's because it's so unique in my collection. I don't have another tweed, and certainly a lot of my bags are brown, beige, and in leather. But that video, it really went in depth. I had so many good tidbits, everything from the reviews, questions, the weight, you name it. I probably covered it in that video. I just had a lot of enthusiasm for making that video, and I just really kind of geek out. I do enjoy doing bag videos, which is why you probably see so much of those videos across my channel. Next up is the Celine Nano versus Micro luggage bag review. This is another handbag review video where I compared the nano size to the micro size. This particular video has over 45,000 views, and I go in depth on all the facets when it comes to the Celine luggage handbags. I did compare the micro size, the larger size, to the nano, which is what I have here. If you notice, I do not have the micro in my collection. I just wasn't using it, but it is a nice handbag, and at the time I certainly enjoyed it. I actually had the micro size in more that lighter dune color shade. I do have the nano size, and this is in the beautiful dune color, and I really enjoyed this one. It's a lot more functional for me in my collection. I made that review video 2 years ago. There wasn't a whole lot of reviews, especially when you compared the 2 sizes. I find a little bit more now, but at the time, I just thought that was so useful. One of the things that I thought was interesting was the sizing with Celine. The nano sizes for Celine, this is a nano, and to me, this is probably more of a mini bag to a lot of other design houses. I think of nano bags like the little baby, like a nano baguette that you see from Fendi, or even like a mini pochette size. That's typically what I think, the really small bags. But then the micro size ends up being this big bag, and obviously much bigger than the nano. But I thought that was one interesting tidbit, so I tried to elaborate more on the sizing in that video. This is one of those handbags that when I was just starting to get into handbags, and it was big back in the heyday, and I just never got around to purchasing it until much later in life. I'm eager to see a resurgence of the luggage bag, especially with Phoebe Philo's collection coming at the end of October. Next video is my Chanel comparison video. In that video, I am comparing the Chanel Classic Flap medium size versus the trendy CC as well as the Coco handle. This is a video that I did 2 years ago, and it has over 42,000 bag reviews. You guys know I love Chanel, hence why I have a pretty decent amount of Chanel handbags in my collection. But to me, so many people just love the Classic Flap, so I wanted to give more of a nod to the other handbags. And certainly this Chanel Trendy CC has been in my collection for a while, early on, and it's a beautiful shade. But I really enjoy the Classic Flap. I still think that all the things I said in that video are still relevant today. And of course, it's crazy to think how much in a 2-year span that the prices have increased, certainly. Since the making of that video, I will say that I definitely have cherished and used my Classic Flaps more than any other Chanel handbags. And I would say, if you like more of the structure and the quilting and all, and you want a Chanel bag, I would probably steer you more in the direction of the Classic Flap. At the time when I made these videos, I was really hardcore into Chanel bags, and they just made some beautiful brown and beige handbags, which is certainly what you saw 2 years ago across my channel. And I'm not really buying as much Chanel anymore. I'm actually buying more of the other design houses, but certainly I will say that Chanel will always have a place in my heart. Will I buy any more Chanel? I don't know. If I did buy any more new Chanel, it will be more vintage Chanel. Really enjoy a lot of those older series Chanel. This is one of my, if not my favorite handbag in my collection. Just everything about this handbag I really love. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this tag video. Thank you again, Caleb, for tagging me. I'm going to tag a couple creators in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Take care.